Natalie, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm great, thanks. How are you?
Very well. Thanks so much for your time.
No, thank you.
Natalie, first of all, do you finally have your driving license?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I still don't have it. It's actually like getting embarrassing now, but it's okay. Like I will
Of
get
course.
it, in my own time. But yeah, it needs to happen. Yeah,
When
my
the time
mum
is
is
right.
like over it, over talking about this with me.
But do you remember, a moment in your life you regretted it the most not having had a driving license?
Um, like regularly, like just constantly. I mean, especially during this last year and a half, where just even going on public transport was just really scary and not advised. And so, even just driving to see family outside, like I couldn't really do. So that was probably like a regret for me, definitely.
Sometimes I hate to admit that I am not able to do something. So then I do it anyway, even without having a clue. For example, a friend asks me, "Hey, do you know how I can build this bed?" And I'm like, "Of course." And then he realizes while I try that I'm struggling. So I was wondering if that ever happened to you, if you ever agreed to do something that you didn't know how it works just because you don't want to admit that you don't know how to do it.
I think when it comes to driving, I kind of just need to know how to do that just on a safety level.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I'm pretty confident in the things that I can do and the things that I can't. I don't have any sort of shame in being like, oh, I can't do this. So I would never pretend. But I'm also someone who will try anything new. And I'm like, okay, let me try. And if I'll practice a bit. If I can't do it, then fine. But if not, then if I can, then great. So I tend to be quite confident in knowing what my strengths are and what my weaknesses are, and I'm willing to try and get better at things I'm not so good at. I tend to kind of try and be, walk down the path of like being as honest as I can be,
Yeah.
because it would be really annoying if my friend, for example, was like, "Can you help me build my bed?" And then I was like, "Sure," and then couldn't, and then I'd probably really mess it up. And then they'd be like, "You broke my bed. You broke the new bed that I bought. Thanks." And I'd be like, "Oh, sorry." But, I think, yeah, there's nothing wrong with admitting you can't do things.
Absolutely, yes. And what about because Dom calls Ramsey, like a natural talent when he sees how she drives, even after she said that she can drive. So I was wondering, because sometimes we do things without learning, and for whatever reason, we are able to understand them right away. And I was wondering if
Yeah.
you are also a natural talent when it comes down to certain things.
Yeah. I think that what's this, I've heard this term like falling upwards. I think
Mhm.
that's kind of what happened with Ramsey in that driving sequence. She kind of just like fell upwards and kind of somehow it worked out. But yeah, I guess like we have instincts that we maybe don't know we have until we have to use them. So that definitely is true. Recently, I started doing pottery classes, like ceramics, and like using the potter's wheel and stuff. And apparently, I'm naturally quite good at that. So didn't know
Oh,
that. And yeah, so that was nice to know.
amazing. Natalie, thanks so much for your time. It was a huge pleasure talking to
Thank
you.
you.
All the best with your movie and see you soon.
Yes, thank you. Bye.
Bye.